But besides that, let's talk about what was done inside of each classroom now. First, it starts off with the air in the rooms. Is the air going to be conditioned and as fresh as possible? So we had all of our HVAC systems looked at, cleaned out, tuned up, and we opened up a lot of the dampers on the HVAC systems. Those dampers drive in additional fresh air from the outside and circulate that air. We bought, for a lot of the classrooms that have windows in them, we bought additional fans to go inside of each one of those windows. Usually use community school as our example, our case study. We'll put two window fans in on opposite sides of the room. One window fan is pushing air out and blowing air out, while the other window fan is pushing air in, along with the air handle, so you get nice circulation of fresh air within the room. Students are all wearing the masks. So first it starts with the air quality. So you increase air quality. We have on order also individually, we just ordered 400 air purifiers, individual air purifiers that are 97.99% effective of removing virus particles that are 0.12 nanometers or larger. And so filters have natural holes in them, so you have to understand the COVID virus can whip through most filters. So people get stuck on this word of like, all the filters have to be in the room. Problem is most of these filters are so porous and the virus particle is so small that the virus particle is going to whip through it. Also, a little bit of science to it is that the virus particle has a density to it. It's dense. It comes out in your respiratory droplets. And the reason they say we're safe being 6 feet from each other is because as I breathe out or I talk, I'm breathing out my respiratory droplets. My respiratory droplets, as gravity takes over, are going to just make them fall to the earth. So if we have a filter in the corner of a room somewhere, what is the probability or likelihood that my respiratory droplet's ever going to make it over to that filter? It's probably negligible, if not zero, going over there. So sometimes we get caught up, if we don't know the science, in thinking that these filters are going to be the savior and keep everyone safe from the virus. The thing that's going to keep people safe from the virus is maintaining 6 feet of distance, keeping the masks on, Purelling the hands. Every wall inside of a classroom and outside the classroom, we have bought 675 dispensers of hand sanitizer that are installed in the school with appropriate signage. So every time, according to the regulations, that someone is supposed to take their mask off, before they take their mask off, they're supposed to Purell their hands, clean their hands with hand sanitizer. I use Purell as the example. They're supposed to put their mask down on a napkin so it doesn't cross-contaminate the table, God forbid they're sick. They have their food if it's a program mask break and they're eating, and before they put their mask back on again, they sanitize their hands one more time and put it on. So we have, I think we had 1,000+ gallons of hand sanitizer we bought to put in those 675 dispensers inside all the classrooms. We made sure all of our bubblers that are touch bubblers are being and have been shut off right now. We have automatic bubblers that we have in the schools that are censored, where you won't be drinking out of your typical fountain where you put your face down, to potentially spread any kind of infection. Never mind COVID, it could be influenza, it could be anything. So everyone has to have their own water bottle when they come to school. That's supposed to be filled up already from their house. And then also, if they want to fill their water bottle up, they can go to one of our water bottle dispensaries that just put it up there and it's just motion activated and it'll fill up the water bottle for them. So we have that going on. We have appropriate signage all over the place where you can't go in the buildings unless you're wearing your mask. Maintain 6 feet of distance, washing your hands frequently. And we have our teachers being trained to ensure that the students do that, as well as training the teachers to make sure they do that. And then break rooms are going to be different for teachers. They're all going to be spread out 6 feet or more apart. So we feel confident that if everyone follows the protocol set in place, and everyone holds each other accountable to following those protocols, we're not going to have the COVID police marching the hallways every day to ensure that the professional staff do that. But everyone has a responsibility to each other. We feel that we could, minimize, if not eliminate, the spread of the virus if everything is followed the way it's supposed to be.